time, I would like everyone to join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would now like to invite Alex Lee to sing for the national anthem.
Oh, say tonight you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may all be seated. Welcome to the National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. Becoming a member and being involved in NHS is nothing short of astounding. These students are the best of the best at Williamstown High School. I would like to thank the parents and everyone in the audience for supporting our chapter. I would also like to thank our Board of Education, high school administration, faculty, and staff for being so supportive of NHS as a whole. Specifically in attendance tonight, we have Superintendent Dr. Susan Fickey, High School Principal Angela Stefano, and Board of Education members Dr. Barbara Chamberlain, Mr. Bruce Rice, Mr. Mike DeAndrea, and Mrs. Jennifer Lewis Gallagher. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here with us. A special thanks to our secretaries who put in tremendous amount of work behind the scenes to make nights like this possible. And to our junior ROTC for their vital role played in every event here in our school. Lastly, I would like to thank our custodial staff for always making sure that the auditorium is in pristine condition. Now to continue on with the ceremony, I would like to welcome Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Fickey, to the stage.
So good evening, students, families, and guests. No, this is not a COVID announcement, and you can put a face to the name. It truly is an honor to be here tonight with all of you, and it is a great pleasure to see that the students of Williamstown High School continue to flourish. Students, your achievements in the areas of scholarship, leadership, service, and character are being honored here tonight by your induction into this distinguished society. These core requirements were chosen for a reason. They are the core of a full and fulfilling life. When planning my remarks for this evening, it didn't take me long to land firmly on the pillar of service. Our world is hurting in so many ways, and it is important that we honor this and that we give ourselves to making people's lives better. We owe this to our struggling community and to our world. The National Honor Society focuses on this pillar, service, for a reason. And now, to our inductees who are being inducted in, please never forget how you arrived here to reach this point. Take these ideas and make them better. Use your leadership skills, your scholarship, to raise up people around you. This can be done in simple ways or complicated ways. It's just important that you do it. In just 1 year, we observed all of the people who have given themselves so that we can continue. Think of the truckers, the grocery store workers, the nurses, the doctors, the medical technicians, first responders, all of these essential workers. These are the people who kept our infrastructure intact and kept our community going. When others stayed home, these were the people that continued on. They did so, sometimes rarely, receiving the recognition they need or deserved. Talk about a pillar. Selfless service. It's been a difficult year. A year marked by uncertainty, isolation, sadness, upheaval, and sorrow and loss. However, despite all of this, despite all of that, our Monroe Township school community, faculty, staff, families, demonstrated extraordinary courage, resilience, and commitment to one another and to our community and to our mission. And yes, they were a service. Denzel Washington stated, at the end of the day, it's not about what you have, what you've accomplished. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back. I feel service is an essential component of our lives. And I believe in my heart that helping others reach out and stretch for whatever it is they are reaching for and whatever it is they are stretching for, it's our responsibility. That's why we are here. We are here to help them. We need one another. We absolutely do. And that was apparent this past year. I'm reminded of a Latin root of the word administrator. Ad means to, and then ministerio means serve. Quite simply, it means to serve. And if you have not done so already, I would ask that you make service a natural part of your lives. You don't have to look far to find people who are hurting. You don't have to travel far to find people who are in need. They are right here in our own community. You can find ways to make a difference here. And our society is in need of all the givers who can reach out and mend the broken parts. All of you here tonight, and those who are at home, you have demonstrated you genuinely have what it takes to do exactly that. Do it in your own way. You don't need to be outgoing. You don't need to be flamboyant. Those are not required characteristics. You can be of service quietly in the background. That will be enough. To the 11 being inducted here tonight and our existing members, character, leadership, service, and scholarship. This is why you are here this evening. Of course, you excel in academics, but that is only part of the reason that you are here. You have a fire inside that drives you to give. Give your time, give your talent, give your energy to those who need it most. And we ask you to continue to take an active role in your lives. Continue the belief that the few can continue to help inspire many. You are selfless leaders. There is yet much work to be done. And if not you, then who? Congratulations to all of you for becoming members of the National Honor Society.
Thank you, Dr. Fickey. On behalf of myself and all of the NHS members, thank you for being a part of our night. In a moment, 4 of our officers will be explaining the meaning of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. Before they come to the podium, I would like to share a little more about NHS and our chapter specifically. So what really is the National Honor Society? It's not your typical school club or grade-based extracurricular. While your grades are important, being a member of the National Honor Society is about much more than that. A member has to be able to represent the 4 pillars that NHS acts upon: service, character, leadership, and scholarship. Being a member of NHS requires exemplary students who work to make our school and our community a better place every day. Now, for our members this year, the typical NHS experience was quite different than those of the past. Due to the many new regulations in place, our members had to think outside the box in order to help our community. For example, many of our members participated in our sidewalk chalk and rock painting event, which may seem so simple, but yet it played an important role in brightening people's days. Along with this, they created bags for the homeless, provided Christmas presents for children in need, and they provided meals to a family in our community whose son was battling cancer. Our members have been working to help others and to better our community while trying to put a smile on at least one person's face every day. Now, high school can be a hard time for many students, and it can be easy to get caught up in the stress and commotion of it all. However, our NHS members are the ones who are able to work through this while also devoting themselves to following the core values of our 4 pillars. Our members work every day to maintain a good character, one built on integrity and kindness, while also working to provide service to others. Through this, our members learn to be leaders, even without a title, and they work to inspire others to take on these roles as well. And most importantly, even through juggling service hours, clubs, jobs, or sports, they still manage to maintain scholarship and a strong devotion to their education. With that being said, I encourage all of you here today to continue on your path towards greatness and strive to not only be amazing students, but also to take these 4 pillars and live by them even past high school. At this time, I would light the candle in the middle of the candelabra that lies towards the front of the stage. This candle represents the lamp of knowledge, the eternal flame within each and every National Honor Society member, past or present, that drives our lives. Seen throughout many organizations, this lamp of knowledge represents the strive for education, the understanding of personal possibilities, and the undying inspiration to better ourselves while helping those around us. Now welcoming Rowan O'Hara to speak about service.
Service, selflessness, and compassion are some of the main building blocks of a strong community and are also key values of the National Honor Society. Community service is a vital component of being an NHS member, as each member is held to the standard of earning a specific amount of points by participating in a multitude of activities that allow us to give back to our community. We dedicate our time to help support the community at sports games, school events, or in any way we can help those in need. It holds a special place in our hearts and is one of the most paramount principles of our community. Here at NHS, community service is not only about the points or the recognition. It is about truly making a difference and being the reason that somebody smiles each and every day. Each member can proudly say that they have positively impacted our community and have learned the true meaning of giving back and volunteering our time. Any one of us can tell you how rewarding it feels to be so connected to our community and to be able to make the world a better place, even with small acts of service. As once said by Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. I would now like to introduce Evan Snyder to speak about leadership.
If there are leaders, then there must be followers to that leader. While I agree with this general statement, I believe far too often today we put too much emphasis on the followership a leader possesses. We believe our leaders must have a great number of followers to be good and notable leaders. While this has some merit, I think of my parents most notably as great leaders with few followers. They only had 4 followers in their children. However, the way they led by example, without a doubt, left an indelible mark upon their children. I can guarantee and am pleased to say that every member of NHS has this in their parents and at the very least, school faculty. You can sense their impact as there are many great leaders within our school and in NHS that don't necessarily have the biggest follower group or loudest voice, who instead lead by example. When we think of great leaders, we often forget about the ones that impact us every day, and instead think of the ones with the most followers and the big stage. But at the end of the day, the impact you have on the followers is much more important than the amount of people you influence or the title you possess. As each of us in NHS go on to bigger things and look to grow as leaders in the near future, I want us to remember and not lose sight of our childhood leaders. The ones who weren't perfect, but cared enough to teach us right from wrong and how to serve and lead others selflessly. The ones who exemplified true leadership. I would now like to introduce Anne-Marie Mcmahon to speak about scholarship.
When talking about scholarship, usually only one thing comes to mind: grades. The high academic standing of the National Honor Society members is something that many people admire, but there is a lot more to scholarship than numbers on a paper. Perhaps even more than intelligence, scholarship depends on diligence and an intrinsic desire to learn. Ralph Waldo Emerson himself echoed this, saying, "Scholarship is to be created not by compulsion, but by a pure interest in knowledge." The hours you spend studying, the homework that you do, the hobbies and clubs you pursue, your desire to achieve something and be successful, all of that is scholarship, even if it's not measured by a grade. NHS members are the students who will put in the extra effort to stand out, build relationships with their teachers, and help others when needed. They pay careful attention in class and are not afraid to ask questions when necessary. This desire to achieve and to learn extends beyond the classroom into the community as well. Our program hosts an active peer mentor program where members can help other students who are struggling in class. NHS members understand that the end of scholarship is to be able to eventually give back to the community. Academics are always important to high school students, but for NHS members, it is more than just a grade. It is a commitment to the world around them. I would now like to introduce Carly Del Barolo to talk about character.
Good character is a part of what makes us who we are, having each and every decision not motivated by the wrong intentions, but solely doing it because it's what's right. NHS is built on a foundation of individuals whose passion and determination for helping our community trumps any cloudy judgment. Being a member of the National Honor Society isn't necessarily based on good grades. What really matters is the intentions of each member. Throughout a series of community service events and volunteering our time, each member has the chance to better themselves and their community. One thing we hope everyone takes away from NHS is that it only takes one small act to make the difference to someone else. This year has been full of missed opportunities and alternatives to a lot of things we've been looking forward to, but I can proudly say that NHS has pushed through each obstacle and kept striving to make our community a better place. More than ever, we were pushed and challenged to remain positive and lead by example. The integrity of each member is what kept us all so motivated and inspired us to keep high spirits. It's easy for one's morals to be questioned, especially when challenged, but what makes these individuals stand out from others is their constant ability to stick to what they believe is right. Character is the structure of what the National Honor Society stands for. Without a good head on their shoulders, the other pillars would be achieved by the wrong means. And now I'd like to introduce the Advisor of Nhs, Mr. Luca Moscow.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you for adapting to come inside tonight. For the students, thank you for getting dressed real nice and coming to something in person like this. This makes my year. Like, just being able to see this and do this is the best thing in the world. And in fact, today was so stressful getting this all set up inside, making sure we're spaced out, that this moment right now, this is the first time I'm able to relax today. So I'm just going to cherish it and just talk for like an hour. No, I promise, I won't, I promise. Special thank you, of course, everybody that helped, custodial staff. I have teachers helping me. Mr. Patras did an awesome job. Mr. Meeks is back there filming it, so it's live streamed. Thank you to you guys. Mr. Patras on the moving side, you know, on the last second thing, and he was right there. Mr. DeStefano and Dr. Ficky have been fantastic. They're probably ready to fire me with the amount of emails about where we're going to do it and how we're going to do it and when we're going to do it. But they stuck with me the whole time. They were so supportive in an effort to get you guys in here to have a nice event like this. So a round of applause for both of them. For the kids, I wanted to say, early this year I remember talking to a teacher, and they were frustrated, as every single teacher in the world has been frustrated this year. And they said, man, you really see some of the true colors of these kids in a situation like this. And I understand that frustration because there's been plenty of times where I have felt that same frustration. But I want to say the exact same thing looking at this crowd. That, boy, you really do see the true colors of so many of these kids in a situation like that. And I say that in such a positive way. You know, I think of Adriana Battistelli. Sorry you're so far in the back. 196.5 service credits. That might be a world record. I just don't know if they keep that stat anywhere. It was supposed to be 200, but stuff like that. Alexa Bueller, Sophia Donez, who just made my day. They go out of their room to stop, out of their way, to stop in my room and say hi, because they know I love them. That's your true colors. That's what makes you special. I would like actually all of my officers, if you could stand up for a minute, all the officers that are going to speak tonight. They have been so ridiculously helpful. Danielle, Rowan, Carly, Evan, Anna Marie, Franny. I'm not going to say anything bad, Franny. I love Frank so much. Sierra Waji. They've been fantastic. And it's exactly that. It's seeing their true colors. That despite all of this, they'll find a way to make me laugh on Zoom. They'll come to my back office. They'll help me out. Thank you very much, guys, officers. Danielle, stand up for another second. My
Ms. Scazzo, I want to thank you for everything that you have done for me, both as a student and as a person. It's amazing to have a teacher so caring and always willing to help their students. Whenever I needed extra help with anything, even if it did not pertain to your class, you were always willing to put in the extra effort in order to make sure your students thrive. You are truly a role model for all of your students by showing how caring and hardworking you are. Thank you for always being there for us and guiding us on our journey throughout high school.
It's rare to come across someone as inspiring as the teacher I've had the pleasure of getting to know this year. Taking studio art has been one of my best decisions, and I would have loved more than anything to have had Mr. Garrick in the classroom all school year. Not only is he incredibly talented, he's incredibly hardworking and passionate. His various in-class motivational sermons and stories have helped me gain new perspectives on life and given me more of a reason to appreciate the talents I possess. His class has been a place of comfort, and I just want to thank you, Mr. Garrick, for sharing your endless wisdom with me and inspiring me to pursue my passions and continue developing my skills. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Adriana Battistelli, and while I thought about who would be my mentor, the same person would come to my mind over and over again. She was always known for having a very positive mindset, even if she's having the worst day. She was always there when I need someone to talk to or to rant to, which, may I mention, is all the time. She has literally helped me with everything and anything, even if that includes spending 45 minutes on my research essay that was not even for her class. She is the teacher who has made the greatest impact on my life here at WHS. The person I have chosen for my mentor is Ms. Sancharico.
In my first month of my freshman year, I joined the newspaper club as an aspiring journalist. While now I realize I'd much rather write fictional stories rather than articles, I had the pleasure of meeting my true best friend during my years in high school. She's been by my side through thick and thin. She's seen my successes and failures. I've lived through many trials throughout the last 4 years, and she's been there through every single one. Whether it was her helping me through academic struggles or her just texting me to ask me how my day was, you've really helped shape the person that I am today. Thank you so much, Ms. Ferranto, for everything that you
Senora Torres, my inspiration, my confidant, my motivator, I'm so grateful for the positive impact you've made on me the past 6 years. You've been someone I can rely on, someone I can go to for help, and the best of all, someone I can share my successes and milestones with. You've been there for me through the ups and the downs and have pushed me out of my comfort zone when I lacked the confidence in myself to do so. You've inspired me to never give up despite the many difficulties and roadblocks we encounter in our lives. Your dedication and devotion to everything you do is admirable and something I strive to imitate in my own life. You've shown me that any dream is always worth fighting for. Truly, you are someone who has allowed me to see the hope inside myself, and I can't thank you enough for that.
Teachers as fun and amazing as Mr. Patchers can be difficult to find. Mr. Patchers always finds ways to make his classes challenging yet super fun at the same time. In his classes, I've done so many interesting projects that made learning something new more fun. Mr. Patchers never fails to make a lesson interesting. I have never once been bored in any of his classes. Mr. Patchers' classroom is also a very comforting and safe space. I visit his classroom whenever I have a free period. His room has always been a welcoming place for all students. He is also very understanding and supportive. I feel so lucky to have had Mr. Patchers as a teacher.
One of the telltale signs of a fantastic teacher is when a student looks forward to going to their class every day. Not only was I always excited to go to Mrs. Ronner's class, most of the time I actually didn't want to leave, which is something probably not many students would say about any of their classes. Mrs. Ronner has truly mastered the art of balancing work and fun, and every day I could be sure that I was going to learn something new and still laugh and have a great time while doing so. I learned so much valuable information from Mrs. Ronner and have made many great memories in her classroom. Thank you, Mrs. Ronner, for being an amazing teacher and role model.
I've only known my mentor since junior year, but I'm so incredibly lucky to have met her. I took graphic design on a fluke because I wanted to fit another class into my schedule, and I'm elated that I did. Mrs. Peacock's class has always been the highlight of my day, and although I love science, English, and history, I love being able to create art even more. More than her class, Mrs. Peacock's energy has always made me feel calmer and happier. She always encourages me to try my best and is always helping me improve. From actually doing her work to helping her with random classroom chores, I'm blessed to have Miss Peacock as my mentor.
My mentor is someone I can always count on to lift me up when I'm down and put a smile on my face. I've never had a teacher who made me laugh so hard or feel so unconditionally supported until I met Torque. But what makes Torque so impactful isn't just his teaching, it's the experience he wants his students to have. From taking the Zoom classes on Dunkin' Donuts with me to surprise turkey shorty arguments, there is never a dull moment with him. Having Torque as a teacher doesn't come with tons of homework or anxiety. You only leave the class laughing and with an occasional York peppermint patty. Thank you, Mr. Torcasio, for never failing to brighten up my day.
My name is Kimora Dixon. My mentor, Mr. Horwick, has not only been an amazing teacher, but a role model. Sophomore year was one of the hardest, but through the teachings of Mr. Horwick, I finally believed that I could achieve anything. His classroom is a place where I could belong. I grow, learn to see the world in new ways. Mr. Horwick goes above and beyond. I couldn't be more thankful to have such an experience with someone like him. I believe that every student should be as lucky as I am. I know that without the kindness he shows and continues to show me, both on and beyond the textbooks, I wouldn't be on this stage today giving this speech. Thank you for everything.
As a freshman, I took graphic design without knowing that I would meet one of my biggest influences. Mr. Garrick appreciates effort from his students rather than fixating on grades, which is something I never experienced. His unique background allowed me to gain a new perspective that was not offered by any other teacher in my school career. Being from Sierra Leone, he's not only able to make his students realize how fortunate they are, but he also educates his students about his experiences. He's an extremely hard worker who finds the time to take care of each of his students while simultaneously attending graduate school. For this, I am forever grateful, Dr. Garrick.
My mentor is someone who's been a role model since my first day at Williamstown High. He's taught me so much about not only law, but also the world. Something I'll cherish from my years in high school is the positivity that my mentor has instilled in me. Walking into his class every day, I'd ask, "How are you?" His response was always, "There's never a bad day." His passion for education helped mold me into the student I am, and looking towards my future, I hope to radiate the same positive energy as my mentor and to change the world. Reflecting on my past 4 years, I'm thankful to have had a teacher who has changed my life. Mr. Torcasio, I couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you.
When I first walked into AP History, I didn't know what to expect, but I quickly grew to love the class, especially our discussions about current world issues and events. Prior to sophomore year, I had never spoken about such important topics with my classmates in a really meaningful way, and I'm forever grateful I had the chance to learn not only how to articulate my own point of view, but to always listen to others and see theirs. My mentor is a teacher who not only taught us about the past, but how to use that knowledge to build the future that we want to see.
My mentor has always been there for me throughout all 4 years of high school. She not only taught dance classes, but also taught so many life lessons that will stick with me forever. Through dance, I was able to express myself, and within only 40 minutes of class, I was able to forget all about school and take a break from all the stress. My mentor taught me to be confident in myself and to get out of my comfort zone. She was always there to talk about anything, and she always gave the perfect advice. So thank you, Ms. Shoemaker, for always being there for me and helping shape me into the person I am today.
My name is Alexia Feebles. As we exist, there will come a time where a person you may or not realize at first crosses your path and makes a great impact on your life. As a student athlete, I know many other people besides myself look up to their coaches as their role models. My coach taught me not only what it takes to be a good athlete, but also taught me how to be a better person. She believed in my potential more than I believed in myself on and off the field. I am humbled and forever grateful for her support and kindness through these 4 years. Coach Pete, thank you for not only being my greatest teacher, but also
Oxford Dictionary defines a mentor as an experienced or trusted advisor. But this definition doesn't do you justice. During class, you always brought this lively and optimistic energy, continuously made me laugh with your corny jokes, and sought to get to know each of your students beyond their names. Before taking your class, I didn't have the slightest interest in graphic design. And although COVID cut our time short, I learned in abundance, and now I even have a passion for the art. Most importantly, however, you shared your life story with us, which inspired me, and many others, to embody tenacity and diligence, for these traits can lead to success. For these things, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you immensely, Mr. Garrick.
It takes a special kind of teacher to want every one of her students to succeed. While I only got to spend a few physical months sitting in Ms. Gazza's classroom, I made memories I will never forget. Ms. Gazza was always willing to help and wanted to help in any way she could, especially when quarantine first started. When I opened up to Gazza about my future plans and mentioned wanting to go to college, without skipping a beat, she started helping me. She's one of the main reasons I will be attending college, and I'm so thankful to have someone as supportive as her in my corner. Thank you, Ms. Gazza, for everything you've done for me. I am so grateful for you.
When I first came to WHS, I felt like I was scared and alone in a big new world. My friends and I had been scattered across the school, and I was all on my own. However, one familiar face helped me feel like I was right at home from the very start. Your class was the highlight of my day, and every second I spent learning with you was full of smiles and laughter. From galletas to chanclas, matamoscas to shouting "Viva!" and annoying the living daylights out of the German class next door. There was never a dull moment in your class. You watched me grow up, and I cannot thank you enough for the role that you played in it. Gracias, Senora Torres.
Madam Kaiser is more than just a teacher or a mentor to me. Not only is she an amazing teacher with a true passion and understanding for what she teaches, but she is a friend. She understood her students were real people with their own issues and lives outside of the classroom. She knew that an effective teacher can't separate her students from the rest of who they are. She took a genuine care of duty for not only her students' academic well-being, but their emotional and physical well-being as well. While it may have appeared that we were just learning about the difference between the passé composé and the imparfait, Madame helped me become a better person. Merci, Madame, pour tout.
During my junior year, psychology quickly became the class I looked forward to the most every day. From doing labs like building the brain with candy, or using crazy songs and acronyms to remember material, this teacher made learning fun. I'll never forget the day when this teacher told us to write our names and what we wanted to be in the future on paper. After collecting the folded pieces of paper, one by one she was able to tell the class whose paper it was and what we wanted to be without looking. It was by far the coolest thing I've ever experienced in a class. Thank you, Mrs. Carpenter, for making psychology so memorable.
Throughout high school, I have had countless amazing teachers, but I chose this teacher for helping me to grow as both a student and as a person. Last year, I was accidentally put into her accounting class, even though I had no interest in business whatsoever. Her style of teaching and the personal connections she makes with each of her students led me to taking not one, but 2 more of her classes this year. She never fails to make me smile, even at 7:39 in the morning, and her passion for teaching is inspiring. She has always believed in me, pushed me to step out of my comfort zone, and helped me to build confidence. So thank you, Ms. Orzo, for always going the extra mile and for being a great mentor.
Chemistry is not my favorite subject, but yet, sophomore year, it was my favorite class. Don't get me wrong, I loved memorizing the entire periodic table, but what made my class such a great experience was my teacher. Mr. Krullo is beyond thoughtful and radiates positivity. In class, he started setting up my labs at the window in our classroom because he listened to me talk about how sunshine creates a positive impact on my day. Even not in class, Mr. Krullo was always a friend. He was invested in my DECA projects and even in quarantine sent me a card in the mail. Especially during a tough time, it meant the world to me. Thank you, Mr. Krullo, for making my days brighter.
How lucky am I that I got to spend 4 years being a student of Mrs. Orzo's? I'm the luckiest. She's the kindest, most hardworking, compassionate, and helpful teacher I've had. She has not only exceeded my expectations of a teacher, but has helped me find enough confidence to help me exceed the expectations I had for myself. She is very passionate about what she teaches and never gives up on anyone when they need her most. I admire how positive she is during times like these. She's the kind of teacher that makes you smile even on the bad days. So thank you, Mrs. Orzo, for helping me grow these past 4 years and for always making me smile.
Hi, my name is Josh Jackson, and I would like to recognize Coach Schoenfelder as my mentor. The first time I had met Schoenfelder, I thought he was just a crazy old man that had filled the empty coaching spot for their cross-country team. Fast forward a year and a half later, and he's still the same crazy old man. However, I respect and appreciate everything he does. He is one of the hardest working people I know and has respect for everything he does. He keeps a realistic view on life and is just a friendly and funny person to be around, even if those jokes can be corny. I just wanted to say thank you for all you've done for me.
This person has made a huge impact on my life and always encourages me to do my best. She has helped me grow not only as a student, but as a person. Her love and passion for the Spanish language and culture has influenced me to want to learn more about the language. Her dedication and support throughout my 4 years of high school has led me to become the person I am today. She has taught me how to always work hard and never give up. Because of her care and encouragement for her students, I have grown into a more resourceful and motivated student and leader. Thank you for your continuous support and guidance. The mentor I chose is Senor Torres.
My mentor has been a role model not only for myself, but for many other people as well. She is someone who helps me strive to be the best version of myself, is always guiding me down the right path, and is always helping me deepen my faith within my life. Not only is she my youth minister, but she is a mentor who I look up to in countless ways. She is strong in her faith, encouraging, kind, and very diligent when it comes to assisting others. Thank you for your endless love, guidance, and support. I will forever be grateful for the mentorship you have given me throughout my high school years. The mentor I chose is Carrie Janice.
To me, what separates a fantastic teacher from the rest is one who makes their students not only feel inspired to learn, but also creates a fun, entertaining, and stress-free environment. And Mr. Torcasio has done both of these things for both me and all of his other students. From checking in on me while I was juggling a multitude of AP classes last year, to having conversations with Carly and I about life since freshman year, Mr. Torcasio is the best teacher and mentor I have had the pleasure of meeting during all 4 of my years at Williamstown. Thank you for helping me make the most of high school.
Hi, my name is Anthony Kopacheski. My mentor, Mr. Garrick, has had a profound impact on me throughout these past few years. I first met Mr. Garrick freshman year in graphic design, where I quickly noticed how personally involved he was with all of his students. pushing and challenging me to do my best work. In Graphic Design 3, being in an extremely small class, he taught and worked with me more head-on, sharing his life experiences and advice, while also stressing the importance of creativity and using your gifts. I thank him for everything, as Mr. Garrick has instilled in me that no matter what I choose to do with the rest of my life, that if I remain determined and dedicated, anything is possible.
If someone told me freshman year that I would pick Mr. Hartwick as my mentor, there is no way that I would have believed them. I'm going to be honest, Mr. Hartwick scared me. I heard rumors of how hard and mean he was from previous students. By junior year, I was staying after class and coming during lunch just to talk to him. I was even reading every book and watching every speech he recommended to me. Little did I know, Mr. Hartwick would become one of the most influential and inspiring people I know. Thank you for sharing all of your wisdom and helping me become the person I am today. I really appreciate everything that you do for me and our class.
If you'd asked me at the start of junior year, I never would have told you that my crazy AP Physics teacher would have such an important role in my life. However, over the past 2 years, Mr. LaPalamento has had one of the greatest impacts on who I've become. He has pushed me through every step along the way and has instilled a confidence in me that I never had before. Because of him, I've received some of the greatest life lessons and learned that it's okay to be crazy and goofy sometimes. I'm so grateful for the amazing relationship that we've built. I would not be the student, leader, or person I am today without his influence. Thank you, Mr. Law. Miss you already.
Competency, dedication, empathy, and the ability to adjust to any situation presented are key skills that any successful business person has. With them, they can achieve greatness through each and every action. My mentor, Mrs. LaPalamento, has demonstrated that in every way possible. Between providing us hands-on experiences in marketing class to working extra hard to ensure that our DECA chapter succeeds at every conference, Mrs. Law motivates me to be the best person I can be, both in the business world and in everyday life. Thank you, Mrs. Law, for always inspiring me to reach new heights and for supporting our students in our endeavors.
My name is Eric Lee. Throughout my years in school, history was never a subject that I look forward to, but taking honors history in my junior year is a decision I will never regret. This teacher always teaches with enthusiasm and made history fun for me. Along with being a great teacher, she is always approachable, whether it be a question about an assignment or something not related to the class. She is always supportive and caring to all of her students. Even during difficult times, teaching through a computer screen, she always teaches with a passion that makes any class, whether it be history or sociology, online or in school, a lot more enjoyable. Thank you for everything, Mrs. Gazzo.
Some teachers come and go without making much impact on you. Others you'll never forget. My mentor is someone who's made me not only a better student, but a better person. Your advice and stories about your life have taught me endless lessons that I'll always remember. For almost all of my time here, you've been there for me and believed in me, even when I didn't always believe in myself. I know how much you genuinely care and want to remind us all that you're always there for us. You are the best teacher I could have asked for at this place in my life, so thank you, Mr. Hartwick, for giving me so much confidence and kindness when I needed it most.
Several people have the same mentor as me, and for good reason. Mr. Hartwick has a true passion for teaching and cares about creating connections with his students, which has a larger effect than he may think. For that, I thank you, Mr. Hartwick. Your willingness to actively be a voice of guidance is what betters your students, including myself. Not only did you help me actually enjoy history for once, but you've also proved that your good intentions extend beyond the classroom and the material that's on the whiteboard. Whether it was lessons about the Revolutionary War or about life, your influence made an impact that I will carry with me as I take on college and all my future Alex problems.
My name is Bailey Massey. When trying to pick a mentor, one teacher stood out above the rest. When I was facing a dark and difficult time in my life and had a good chance at missing out on so much I was looking forward to, one teacher fought tirelessly to make sure that I wouldn't miss out. Her class led me to find a passion for marketing. I'd like to thank Mrs. Law for the endless amount of support she has given me over the years and for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself. Without her, I would not be the person I am today.
My name is Juliana Moss. Since second grade, I had gone to Catholic school, so coming into public school for the first time in a while was a little scary. I was not used to the big school setting, but Miss Gogol made sure I had no problems at all. If I needed to talk about my schedule or anything, she was always there for me. Since the first day of my freshman year, she has helped me a lot and continues to help me whenever I need it. She made sure I was very comfortable and always checked in. So I just wanted to say thank you, Miss Gogol, for helping me throughout my high school years and making them the best.
When I chose to take AP History sophomore year, I was expecting the typical open and close your textbook kind of class. What I found instead was that Mr. Hartwick's class was not only academically challenging, but eye-opening. I began to see that learning is not just about accepting and repeating what you've been told, but about using what you know as a tool to explore the world around you. Beyond his class, Mr. Hartwick has encouraged me to have more faith in myself, and he has shown me, and many others, how important it is to keep listening, keep questioning, and keep challenging yourself. Because of Mr. Hartwick, I know not only how to understand history, but how to tackle my future, whatever may come.
Hi, my name is Luca Moscow. My mentor, Mr. La, has had such an incredible impact on me throughout high school. He has taught me some of the most important lessons that I will never forget for the rest of my life. The first time I met Mr. La, I immediately noticed that he had a unique way of connecting with the students and forming valuable relationships. Since becoming involved in Rebel Club and NHS, Mr. La has taught me the infinite amount of ways that I can make the world a better place and enjoy myself while doing so. Because of Mr. La, I have seen the amazing impact I have had on my community, and I cannot thank him enough for that.
My mentor taught me to always speak up and voice my opinion and open my eyes to many new perspectives on worldly issues. I'll forever be grateful for our daily talks outside your classroom junior year that I would look forward to all day. You never fail to make me laugh or hear my laugh when it's coming from all the way down the hallway. I'll miss you and your bouncy ball you like to annoy us with during tests and the way you always had a comment on my shoe choice of the day. Thank you, Mr. Hartwick, for not only being an amazing teacher, but for being my friend. The class of 2021 couldn't have done it without you.
Ever since COVID-19, I was forced to learn and do school in a whole new different way. This not only threw off my motivation, but impacted my work ethic, which caused me to fall behind, which I usually never did. COVID-19 challenged me. I was losing belief and motivation myself, but Mrs. Gogol never gave up on me. She pushed me to start my college process and start my college application after I told her it seemed pointless. Mrs. Gogol motivated me to take the difficult AP classes that I didn't believe I was capable of taking. She believed in me. I started becoming sloppy with my punctuality with school, and her guidance put me back on the right track.
When citing math as their preferred subject, many people say it's because there's only one correct answer. However, that's not entirely true. Take Isaac Newton. Before Newton, the value of pi was calculated by finding the perimeter of shapes slightly larger and smaller than a given circle. It took several decades to calculate 35 digits of pi. Newton came along in the 1600s and using Pascal's triangle instead of perimeters, was able to calculate an infinite number of digits. My mentor, Miss Bittner, showed me that there is more to problem solving than going through the same steps every time. One must approach problems with an open mind in order to be successful every time, no matter the challenge.
My name is Michael Pastiani, and my NHS mentor is Coach Bochy, who has been my volleyball coach all throughout high school. I first met him my freshman year, and right from the start, I knew he was a funny and friendly guy. He's very encouraging as a coach and wants me to do good. He knows when to push me in ways that I can better myself. He always tells my teammates and I to stay out of trouble, maintain good grades, and be respectful to all people. Coach Bochy is someone I aspire to be because he's someone that has had a great impact on me that I will carry out for the rest of my life.
Over the years at this school, I've learned, retained, and forgotten so much information. There has been one class where I truly felt challenged and prepared for my future. Thank you, Mr. Mathis, for teaching me almost everything I need to know to be an engineer and helping shape my future. From sending back countless designs, many logbook checks, and the trials and tribulations of inventor, the classes I had with you were worth all the stress and intricacies. I cannot thank you enough for being such a kind, motivating teacher that just wants to push all your students to success and teaching me the skills I need to continue to be successful.
Mr. K, thank you for being the only person who could make me laugh during zero period at 6 a.m. Your snarky jokes, unbounded wisdom, and love for all things STEM made my experience in the engineering academy well worth all the stress. I've never met another teacher as laid back, understanding, and down to earth as you. My fellow engineering students and I would like to commend you on your years of dedication to the academy to make it as successful and renowned as it is today. Even though engineering is not part of my plans, I know that the lessons Mr. K has taught me will allow me to flourish in my education and future career in the sciences.
Hi, my name is Aubrey Peterson. For my mentor, I chose Coach Bastine. He has been a great role model to me throughout my time here. Being able to have a teacher you can talk to about what's going on is really important. It helped get me through high school. Thank you so much, Bastine, for being a great person and friend to me. I appreciate all you do. You have had a great impact on me. I'm going to miss you in college and wish you the best.
To know Miss Orzo means to know what it is like to be cared for unconditionally, to have someone support you in all of your endeavors, to have a shoulder to cry on, or better yet, to have a friend. Orzo, thank you for showing myself and many other students what it means to have someone believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. Thank you for always pushing me to go beyond what I thought I could accomplish. Thank you for teaching me what it means to be a leader. And most of all, thank you for always being your most authentic self. I could not imagine having gone through high school without someone as terrific as you by my side.
The first day I walked into WMS, I was that shy and nervous little girl who thought she was going to get lost in such a big school. I had someone very special guide me and keep me calm. My mentor is truly a wonderful person. She not only made me feel comfortable, but also taught me how to be more confident in language arts. Fast forward 3 years later to 8th grade, and I had another year to grow, become even more confident, and better my language arts skills and grade because I was lucky enough to have my mentor again. She always pushed me to do my best. Thank you, Mrs. Nearai, for always showing kindness and compassion.
It's funny how you can discover something life-changing through the thing you feared the most. To the teacher who has sent me more quotes than I can count and books than I can read, even though you know I hate reading, thank you, Mr. Hartwick, for bringing out the best in me, even when I couldn't see it in myself. I'm going to miss the comforting feeling of going to your room when I need to talk, especially when you completely changed my perspective on the issue. You've played a huge role in my life, and I will forever be grateful. I can confidently say I told you so when you doubted I was going to choose you as my mentor sophomore year.
If I wrote a book, I would dedicate it to Mr. Hartwick, the teacher who gave me my first B. He taught me to treat every setback as a catalyst with the ability to propel me through challenges that I never saw myself capable of overcoming. He never fails to remind me of my potential, pushing me every day to want to be a leader like him that learns from those that they lead. Thank you, Mr. Hartwick, for teaching me to change to meet the demands of life, for all of the Fridays with Hartwick that have become the pinnacle of my high school career, and for watching Avatar just so we could have the opportunity to analyze the psyche of each character.
Going into my freshman year, I never thought I would be where I am today academically. I unfortunately have struggled with math my entire life. Then I had the honor of taking Mrs. Boyce's math class and everything changed. She made me believe in myself and showed me how strong I was with the subject. Not only was she my amazing teacher who I will never forget, she was a friend to talk to when I needed her. She changed my outlook on my abilities in school, and for that I am forever grateful. If it wasn't for having you my freshman year, Mrs. Boyce, I never would have gotten an A in math, and I mean never. Thank you.
My mentor is Mr. Bordeaux. With the last 2 years of our high school experience being affected by COVID, we should try to remember the good things that happened before everything changed. I never really enjoyed going to school, and my least favorite class has always been language arts. However, during my junior year, I always looked forward to going to Mr. Bordeaux's class. Not only is he an amazing teacher, but overall he's just a great guy. He's very passionate during his lessons, and everybody enjoyed when he would read out loud in a funny voice. It's been a year since everything was normal, and I can say that Mr. Bordeaux's class is one of the things that I miss the most.
Mr. Hartwick, you have done more for me over the past few years than any teacher ever has.
You saw my potential to move from honors to AP history, even though I did not see it in myself. I was scared at first when I made the jump, afraid that I would end up regretting it. But you helped me through it every step of the way. Thank you for spending hours of your time helping me, even though you had no obligation to. And thank you not only for teaching me U.S. history, but for teaching me to realize my abilities and to push myself to fulfill my potential.
In a discussion about whether or not Puerto Rico should be a state, many great points about governmental or economic factors were brought up. However, one question bothered me. How much would it cost to add a star onto the symmetric 50-star U.S. flag? When I asked this question to my mentor, I half expected to hear that this was the dumbest question he had ever heard in an AP class discussion. Instead, he told me to find how much it would cost for homework. Long story short, it costs a ton, and on this fact alone, I determined Puerto Rico should not be a state. Mr. Sporny, thank you for always pushing me to question everything and challenging me to view situations in different perspectives.
From being my U.S. History 2 honors teacher to becoming an intricate part of my high school career, Ms. Gazzo has always pushed me to strive for greatness and has been a well-needed helping hand in my college application process. I've had the privilege of being able to spend time with Ms. Gazzo outside of the classroom in mock trial and in student council. In both of these clubs, Ms. Gazzo has encouraged me to be involved with the school community and to always work hard. Ms. Gazzo is very devoted to everything she does, and her positive attitude and go-getter personality spreads to us students. Thank you, Ms. Gazzo, for all that you do. I'm going to miss you next year.
Back in 8th grade, I went through some hard times that shaped me into who I am today. There was one teacher who's also my mentor who helped me through each day and inspired me to be strong. Mrs. Neri has always been there for me with advice, hugs, and laughs from 5th grade, when I first had her, to 8th grade. She's an amazing teacher who helped me learn to love English and inspired my love of reading. She continues to inspire her students each year and push them to do their best in and out of the classroom. Thank you, Mrs. Neri, for always being there for me, and don't forget, I'll always be your mini-me.
Ms. Sacco is the kind of teacher who is always willing to go the extra mile for students and make sure no one is lost. After a long day of school, she's a breath of fresh air who has students looking forward to going to class. Keeping seniors who have been learning virtually for a year interested in learning is difficult. However, Ms. Sacco's class has always been one that was engaging, even over Zoom. Not only does she keep us interested, but she also makes sure we are informed about upcoming events and that we know what's going on in the school. Having a teacher who looks out for students both in and outside of the classroom is refreshing, so thank you, Ms. Sacco.
My mentor is not only a teacher, but also a role model. She is someone I've always admired, as well as looked up to from the moment I stepped into her classroom. Although she was tough and had the highest expectations for me, she taught me persistence, and persistence is what keeps us moving in the right direction. I don't remember how to say a lot of things in Spanish, but I do know how to say thank you. Gracias, Senora Torres, for not only being my Spanish teacher, but also for believing in me. It's one thing to teach, and it's another to leave a lasting impression on your students, and you did just that with me.
For the past 3 years, I've walked down the business hallway excited to see my favorite teacher. I first took Mrs. Johansson's business class as a required course, but having her as a teacher ultimately helped me pick my college major. She took time out of her day every Friday to meet with me and another student to have our weekly Financial Friday talks, as we like to call it. She never failed to make me smile, especially on days when I needed it most. Mrs. Johansson is one of my biggest role models and has helped me get through so much. Whether in person or remote learning, I know I always have a teacher who really cares.
At this time, we will commence the induction of our new members. Please join me in welcoming the principal of Williamstown High School, Mr. DiStefano, to the stage. Mr. DiStefano will be addressing our students and leading our inductees in the recitation of the National Honor Society oath.
That was Mr. DiStefano's Halloween costume, I'm sorry.
Good evening, everyone. Before I get to the oath, I just want to take a minute to recognize Mr. LaPalamento for all of his hard work to make this a live event. It's incredibly exciting to be able to actually do this live. I'm sure you know it too. I mean, everybody was probably wondering all year, when are we going to be able to have live? What's going to be virtual? Live is much better. I'm sure you can all agree on that. I'd also like to thank the superintendent and the Board of Education for being so supportive to allow us to do these events as well. And thank you to everybody in the audience for coming out and supporting. Your support means everything to the students. Okay. Would all new members please come forward and join me in reciting the National Honor Society oath? I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands, and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. I would now like to invite Sierra Wajid to the podium to finish inducting our new members.
Thank you, Mr. DeStefano. We are so happy to have you here tonight. My name is Sierra Wajid, and I'm honored to be the officer in charge of inducting our new senior members. We are so glad that we were able to make this happen tonight for the class of 2021. As each of the senior inductees' names is called, they will light their individual candle from the candle of knowledge to symbolize the members' commitment to the National Honor Society and the 4 pillars. The flame will burn in honor of each inductee's commitment to scholarship, leadership, character, and service. Kyle Brown. Natalie D'Annunzio. Sean Duffy. Justin Fazo. Peyton Mizieski. Kamora Scott. And lastly, Cassidy Waller. I would now like to introduce Francesca Pavlov.
Hi everyone, I'm Francesca Pavlov. To our junior inductees, we are incredibly saddened that you cannot be here in person with us today. Unfortunately, you could not experience what a typical first year of NHS has to offer, such as creating your own in-person service projects, helping Mr. LaPalamento during the school day, and seeing the true impact of your service in real life. Despite these circumstances, you have all truly amazed us with your passion, dedication, and reverence, and we can't wait to see all the phenomenal work you will do next year. In lieu of each junior inductee lighting a candle, a presentation with their names and photos will be shown instead. We are pleased to have a musical selection performed by Alex Lee, Vernon Doggett, Natalie Garcia, Caroline Eng, and Emily Gramley, as we honor our newest members. I would also like to thank Nadia Albana and Angela Jacob for putting together this slideshow.
Congrats to our new members right here, our seniors. Five right there, I sprung that on very last minute, and they were just fantastic. That was a change we kind of had to have in there, and they were fantastic. And we have the most talented kids here. It is just mind-blowing when I see the kids we have here. So it is with great honor that I can say we have officially inducted our class of 2021 and 22 new inductees. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to our seniors that got to be here with their mentors. We are going to wrap up now. Typically, we would all go into a cafeteria. We're still going to do that, but it's going to be split. So we're going to do A through, I'm not going to change to A through K. Teachers A through, hang on, I'm taking heart bike out. So never mind, teachers A through N. I'm going to put heart bike somewhere else. Teachers A through N are going to be in cafeteria A. Teachers, the rest of the alphabet, are going to be in cafeteria B. Mr. Hartwight's kids, there's quite a few of them, I'm going to have you guys stay in the theater so we can be spread out. It is extremely important. I just want to stress, I want to thank again Mr. DiStefano, Dr. Fickey. They worked with us so nice to make this happen. I was the first one to say, no, I don't want an all virtual ceremony. I want to see kids in person. They work with us, and it's important for us now to follow those guidelines. We're going to stay 6 feet apart. We're not going to hug. We'll shake hands, a little fist pump, a really quick picture, that's okay. And we'll try and be a little bit quicker so we don't linger too long. And then you guys can make for the exit and try not to linger in the hallway if you guys don't mind. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great night.